old lead cable, and this one he chopped through with bucket was red.
Not the sharpest, are they?
There's no big hole in front of his bucket. And when they come out, it's about 30 metre long pieces in back of the truck.
Hello and welcome to Wheatwood Sports Park, the return of the Women's Super League for the last regular game of the season before the finals. We got the Leeds Rhinos taking on the Wigan Warriors up here on quite a wet playing surface today. So while we're waiting, as teams are finishing, getting warmed up after a bit of a delay to kick off, we'll just go through the teams. So for Leeds at fullback, you have Caitlin Beavers. On the wings, Madison Laverick and Sophie Nuttall. Your centres, Chloe Kerrigan, Abby Eatock. 6 and 7, Hannah Butcher and Courtney Hill. Props, Danielle Anderson and Amy Johnson. At 9, Tash Gaines. In the second row, Amy Staveley and Charlotte Booth. And at loose forward, Shannon Lacey. For Leeds on the bench, Ellie Oldroyd, Elle Frayne, Danica Prim and Kira Bennett. Now just taking a look at the Wigan team. So at fullback, Rebecca Greenfield. Your wings, Megan Grace Holding and Leah Derbyshire. In the centres, Hayley Martini and Georgia Wilson. 6 and 7, Rachel Thompson and Charlotte Foley. Your props, Jade Gregory Hazelden and Hannah Goodburn. Hooker, Carice Manch. At 11 and 12, Emily Bagley and Amanda Sibbald. And then at loose forward, Victoria Molyneux. With the head coach, Steve Bold. Just taking a look at their bench. You've got Emma Dwyer, number 15, Natalie Watson, Lucy Bagley and Eleanor Dainty. So that's your lineups for today's final women's round. It's on some adverse weather conditions. Leeds getting hit pretty bad, but that's not affected the crowd here. We've got quite a decent turnout. And just looking at the league table. Yeah. So just looking at the league table itself, as you can see, Castleford already confirmed as league leaders, with St Helens not too far behind, Leeds in third and Wigan in fourth. So the league table setup is already confirmed, but that's not going to take anything away from this game, as every team wants to finish the season with a win and then take that across into the final series. So just looking at the other fixtures taking place today, a really good fixture of course over at Ruskin, St Helens taking on Castleford. Over here you got 3rd versus 4th, Leeds versus Wigan. Bradford taking on the York City Knights, and a lower table clash between Featherstone Rovers and newcomers Wakefield Trinity, of course just finishing off their first season in Super League. So just looking at the recent results, Leeds with 2 losses and 1 draw, 4 wins. Their losses coming against St Helens and actually Castleford as well, quite a heavy defeat there. Leeds taking some good wins though on the road, now back at Wheatwood for their final game. As you can see there, a win against Wigan, 66 points to 4 there. Looking at Wigan, they've got very similar form. Leeds, of course, picking up a few extra wins. Wigan coming into 4 losses, a draw and 2 wins. Their last win coming against Wakefield Trinity, 52-6, and then picking up a draw against Bradford, and a few hefty defeats in between. But that's certainly not going to deter them, as they look to make a strong account of themselves here at Wheatwood. Yeah. So the teams are getting ready just to go through the last little bits of preparation. We are roughly 5 minutes away from kick-off. I'm going to be joined shortly by Leeds Rhinos stalwart and foundation member Lois Forsell. She's going to come up here and join us as a summariser. So it looks like the teams are just getting ready, just final few bits of preparation. We will be back in roughly 2 to 3 minutes as the teams come back out onto the field. Here we are, and welcome back to Wheatwood Sports Park. As you can see, the players just starting to make their way out onto the field. Kick-off now only about a minute away. Leeds welcoming back a few familiar faces from injury. Got Shah Booth recovering from injury, Kira Bennett as well, and Courtney Hill back from Australia. So pretty welcome additions to this Leeds side, especially ahead of the finals push. So the coin toss conducted behind closed doors, of course, due to the weather conditions, and Wigan have won that, so they've opted to receive first. So Courtney Hill will be getting us underway in just a moment. You can just see my co-commentator making her way up to the stands as well, as Courtney Hill gets us underway. And that ball slipped through, but Greenfield managing to get to it, and she'll bring it off the back line. Good tackle from Leeds though. Staveley and Butcher up quickly to meet her. So here we are, joined by Lois Forsell now. Lois, how are you feeling?
Wet. It's very, 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 very rainy out there, so good. Hoping it's a good game.
Yep. And Wigan bringing it out from deep here. Leeds fronting up well, making sure that there's not too many metres made. As Wigan on the last now, they'll look to end the set with a deep kick, get as much territory as possible, and that's a floating kick. Nuttall making the dominant call for it. So Nuttall bringing Leeds out from deep. What are you expecting from this game today, Lois?
I think it's going to be a tough game for both sides given the conditions. I'm just trying to have a quick glance over the Wigan team sheet. I've not had a chance to look at it yet, but I think either way it'll be a tough game given the conditions that they're playing in.
Yeah, it's these early sets are going to be very important, especially keeping hold of the ball on very slippy conditions. Anderson now gains on for Johnson. Met well. Wigan getting plenty of numbers in the tackle here, making sure that Johnson can't make any metres forward, but she gets a fast play of the ball and Gaines spots it. Gaines weaving her way out of dummy half. Referee calls last, and the returning Courtney Hill, of course, Woman of Steel nominee for the 2019 season. It's a well-deserved position for Courtney. She's had a really, really strong season. Here we are, Wigan bringing it out. Derbyshire, and she's been caught high by Staveley there. So first penalty of the game is going to go in Wigan's favour. So just giving Leah Derbyshire a quick check over there. She looked to be a little worse for wear after that tackle, but looks like she's going to be okay. Thompson will kick to touch, and that's coming our way, and we've managed to survive it this time.
I don't think that was quite what she intended, but strong carry.
Gaines, wow. It's a big run from Seibold there. We're going to send it in the big women early, trying to get that roll on. There's Molyneux taking it up the middle. Wigan looking like they're a big fan of playing to the middle early. Thompson moves it on, and they're going wide, and they just lost their shape a little bit. Kerrigan coming out of the line looking for her there. Wigan going to the right, 5th and last now. See what they can produce in good Leeds territory. That ball's going to go over the head of Etok. Etok played at it. The referee says backwards. Leeds now are going to go nearly 100 metres to get out of their own zone. Wigan look up for this today.
Yeah, I think they've started off quite well early doors. Both teams trying to look after possession and just get as far down the other side of the park as they can. Going to be a big ask of our girls now getting out of here given the conditions, but sending in the back rows to do some work.
Yep. There is Danielle Anderson. She's looking for the offload there. Makes a wise decision, keeping hold of it. Now Gaines on for Johnson. Johnson comes back in around the play the ball area. Wigan doing well, trying to win the floor. And now Hill kicking deep. Oh, it's been played at. There we are, 6 to go. Etok's got the gap.
Give it to Abby there. I think they're lucky there because if Abby Etok gets the ball in any open space, she's rapid.
Yeah, anybody that caught the Wakefield game will know just how fast she is. There's Shannon Lacey, her first involvement of the game. Leeds in good position. And Staveley coming back in, spotting players off balance there. Gaines opts to go left. Hill shows it again.
Here.
The option's on, but Courtney Hill slips through. Fantastic try there for Courtney. No signs of jet lag there.
No, she's looking fresh. She's looking good to go. She'll have prepared well. She's a professional, so they were good. I think there were options there for Courtney or to go even further out wide. So positive signs early doors.
Yeah, it's just the space there, the numbers they created on the left edge, and Courtney there. I think either way, if that pass had gone or she held it herself, there was a good opportunity for a try on the cards.
Looking like Abby's taken a bust nose with that run that she's done. Getting a bit of treatment from Rach.
Yeah, Abby's in the wars at the moment as Courtney lines up this kick. Tough girl though is Abby. She definitely won't want that to end her day. She's one of the women we've picked up over the course of the season. Came through the army system. Hope that she's able to recover from that. Should be a big loss if not.
Yeah, hopefully.
So here is Courtney Hill looking to convert Leeds' first try of the game. She'll go through that trademark routine.
She's been practicing this week in sunnier climate, but I'm sure she'll still do it.
Yes, she can. 6-0 Leeds. Courtney Hill try and conversion. That takes her total up to 18 for the season. What an impressive season she's had. So we're going to be heading back up to halfway, and there's a little bit of confusion here as we're going to look to take the kick off from the 40. But the referee quickly realises his mistake and takes them back. There we are, the wind just starting to pick up again here, and the rain's certainly not easing off either. We can kick deep, Butcher calls for it, takes it well, hands off to Danielle Anderson, strong into contact. Such a consistent high performer, Danielle Anderson.
Yeah, she's just consistent in everything that she does, and I think that as a player in the park, that's what you want. Someone who'll turn in, week out, and be as good in attack as they are in defence. So she's great for us as a squad.
There's another very good player that's had a very strong season as well, Shannon Lacey, of course, having that England call up.
Shannon the Cannon, she's good. She's looking to be struggling a little bit with her knee, so hopefully she runs that off. Oh.
As Johnson taking it into the line.
She's an handful, isn't she, for defenders?
Yeah, that's a strong 1-2-3 is that. Anderson, Johnson, Lacey all taking drives in there. As Hill looks to turn the wingers and the full-back, and Darbysh has had a bit of a grab at that and she's knocked it on.
But now a better kick by Courtney. She's looking to start trying to split the back two. I think she'll be pleased with that one.
Yeah, especially with the ball sort of hanging around in the wind as well. It makes it awkward for the backs.
And if you're looking at their sort of back line, you don't want Rebecca Greenfield catching it on the full and getting some good yards.
Yeah, Wigan have got some quality in the outside backs that will punish things like easy kicks and a bit of off-marker work as well, so try to limit stuff like that. Gaines, Hill shows it, opts to give it, it's picked off. And that's Grace Holding there, so Leeds won't see out the first tackle. Wigan with a clever read. That's Wilson getting wide, but Kerrigan and Nuttall sticking to her there. Wigan looking to come out from deep, almost up to the 40 here. Gaines peels off. Slow play the ball though, it gives Leeds a good chance to set our line, make sure that the defence has got no holes in. We're going to opt to take it up the middle. Met well again though by Gaines and Lacey. Sorry, it's Anderson. Thompson kicks deep. Laverick off the chest, but the referee's going to call it as a knock on. Big set of 6 coming up now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with the field position. Not a bad kick from Rachel Thompson. She's playing in a different position to what she usually will with Gemma Walsh being absent, so she's moved into the halves rather than the centres. So it'll be good to see how she goes. She's got a good set of core skills, so I'm sure she'll do a good job for Wigan. Yeah,
of course, Rachel Thompson, no stranger to this Leeds side. Scored a hat-trick in the grand final. So Leeds will definitely have a close eye on her.
Definitely.
Nice Foley moving it on.
Good tackle.
Technique there, taking down Goodburn. Wigan up to go down the right. Foley playing it on, and looked like there were a bit of a play for the ball in there. Yep, and the referee sees it that way as well. So Wigan will now have a set of 6 on the Leeds 10.
A good line by Becky Greenfield, to be fair. So
yeah, there was a try scoring opportunity in there.
We'll take the hand in to stop the try being scored.
Wigan trying to force their way over the line, but Leeds holding out. Molyneux going short. They'll look to get a bit of width on the ball now as Thompson showing it, not given though. Sorry, it's not Thompson.
Charlotte Foley.
Now they'll find Thompson, and Thompson puts a play on. Greenfield goes close. She's just short of the line. Wigan trying, but to no avail. This is fantastic goal line defence. 5th and last. Out the back to Thompson. She'll go to the sticks. Courtney Hill's there though, and she finds the ground quickly, but she's been caught high. Leeds not only survive, but they hold out and get a penalty for the troubles as well.
She's strong for her size.
Courtney caught in a bit of a bad position there. Looks a bit twisted as she went down, but she'll walk it off. Anderson looks to get us out. Lacey twisting and turning, fending away from players. Really strong, dominant runner. Now here's Staveley, gives on to Butcher. Butcher will take one into the line. Thompson coming over the top, making sure that she finished that tackle on her back. Anderson in for a second drive of the set, and she'll offload for Beavers, always in and around play, looking for holes and opportunities. And referee allowing that holding down, so nothing untoward in there. And Hill kicks high. It's going to hold up in the wind again here. And referee's blown for a penalty here. Looks like it was offside. Oh no. He's given a scrum Leeds way. It looks like a knock on maybe. It's not signal what it was for, but we won't argue. We're back in possession. It's good to have the Women's Super League back again, and it's been quite a big week for Women's Rugby League in general, as the announcement that women, part of the England team, will be receiving payment for their travel to Australia. Big news. Shows the big steps as well that's been taken in the women's game. And here is one of those team members in Danielle Anderson. Gaines on for Butcher. Butcher, she's got Laverick wide. Laverick, she's going to look to stay in here, and it looks like she's just managed it. And there's Lacey. Lacey going straight back in and around the play the ball area. Wigan doing well to dominate the floor, slowing things down. It's Gaines, Hill shows it, gives it to Johnson, busts the hole back up the middle. Still going with that powerful leg drive. Gaines, Hill slots the kick in.
Next.
Through the legs, showing some of her football skills there.
I've seen Courtney play football. That's one skill that she doesn't have. We played it at training for just one of our fun sessions at the end of last season. I'm sure she'd agree with me.
She has to be bad at something, to be fair.
Yeah, she can have cricket and rugby, but football's not one of them.
Greenfield looking to get Wigan out of trouble. Wigan now taking it forward. Lacey and Butcher there to meet them. Just playing in and around the centre of the field there. Something came out of someone's mouth there. I hope that's not a tooth.
I think it was strapping, not a tooth. We've heard some more noises if that were a tooth, I think.
Beavers.
Confident catch.
Always safe under the high ball. There is Caitlin Beavers fighting to get back to her feet. Elfrain. Super League's smallest second rower with arguably the biggest heart.
Yeah, she's stronger than what she looks as well, to be fair, Elfrain. She just keeps turning up.
Lacey.
She always gets good post-meter contact.
Abby Etox back on the field now with a new shirt. Looks like the kit man's going to have a job on. Here's Anderson, plays it for Gaines. Hill shows it, goes herself. This time the Wigan defence wise to it. Booth back from injury. And Gaines, it's an unorthodox kick, but Etox will take it. Etox steps. That was the last though.
I think Tasha Gaines were lucky that Abby were positioned in the way that she was. She's usually a really good kicker, Tasha, so I'm sure she'll want to make amends for that.
Well, it's not the worst place that you could end a set of 6.
No, it's turned out quite well, to be fair. Just got to D up now and try and keep them up here for this set.
Yeah, and there's Greenfield taking it into the line, looking to make some metres forward for her team, and bit of a delayed play of the ball there. Good dominant defence there. Butcher and Staveley again. Derbyshire taking one into the line. And good marker work there from Amy Johnson, making sure she shutting that down and limiting the metres. And that's going to be the last. That's a good defensive set. We can only make it about 30 metres there. skipping up off that greasy turf, and that's going to hold up. Laverick there to bring it back from deep. Gets back to her own 10 from her in-goal area. Now Abby Etop back out on the field.
She's slotted in quite nicely. She says she's a new player. She gets in early doors and makes herself busy, which I think the girls will really, really appreciate and glad of.
Yeah, she's very difficult to tackle by the looks of things as well. So fast.
Yeah.
Gains for Staveley. Wigan making sure they're getting numbers in on that powerful Leeds pack. Johnson, big fend. Takes the attention of 4 Wigan players to bring her down. There's a few retreaters in there, and Hill take it on the last and pump it deep. No need for blockers, no real pressure on her. And now Wilson. Lacey's got her by the scruff of the neck. Raging bull-esque from Shannon Lacey.
Don't call her cannon for no reason. Seems like the ball's really struggling. Courtney's kicking it, just putting some good force into it, just hanging in that wind, isn't it? Yeah,
the ball's making about 20 metres forward, 10 back.
It's hanging.
Wigan now going forward. Great tackle from Hannah Butcher. Again, another one of the smaller contingent in this side, but she always manages to get around the legs.
Yeah, she might be small, but she packs a punch. She's textbook cat tackler. She just gets her body in front, and she don't mind picking her legs up and dumping them on the back from time to time.
Wigan now coming back up the middle. Thompson chipping over the top, a little bit of ingenuity there, but Beavers with a brave take. Back to her feet there. Caitlin Beaver showing she's not afraid to put her head amongst the boots.
Tash Gaines getting out of dummy half, pinning her ears back, putting some work in early in the set.
Oh, bit of a juggle there from Anderson. She keeps hold.
Want to go again now from Tash while the players are down.
Yeah, there were no markers there that time around. Staveley coming back up the middle, 4th tackle. Look to put a bit of a play on here as Danica Prim makes it onto the field from the bench. Johnson again with some good post-contact meters, leg drive. And that's Ellie Oldroyd just coming on in backfield as well. You talk about players that can pack a punch. And that's charged down, but Thompson takes it on the full.
Amy Johnson busy in defence his first half.
Yeah, she's certainly getting about the field, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's... whoa! Sharp Booth and Elliot Oldroyd with a crunching hit. Oldroyd and Hill that time plays to bring the Wigan players down. And we'll go back to the middle, but the referee calls. It's like he's pulled us for a high shot there. Late in the set as well, that's not what you want.
No, not really. Putting more pressure on herself, but I'm sure the girls will just click the restart button and go again.
Yeah, and Molyneux coming out, and Chloe Kerrigan meeting her there, and Courtney Hill coming in to finish the job. That's Watson on for Wigan. Prim and Johnson getting the work done there. And sloppy pass, and Prim's now chasing up. Thompson putting the pressure on there, and the ball comes out.
Got to be disappointed in that there. Two penalties on the bounce. I know Adam won't be impressed with that. As a player on the pitch, I'd be thinking that we're making it tough for ourselves. We just need to get back into what we set out from the start, and that's complete and keep possession, because it's going to be tough in conditions like this if you consistently defend him.
Yeah, it's got to say it's a rarity as well. It's not often that we concede back-to-back penalties. Discipline's one of the things that Leeds have pretty much prided its season on, and you know, see back-to-back penalties in such a close game. It's tough. There is Watson taking it up the middle, and she's still going, still pumping the legs. Marsh goes to Thompson. Greenfield. Ball was dropped, but it's gone backwards, and there was a little bit of going behind her own player there, but the referee says that she pulled out just in time, and Wigan losing momentum and metres there. Sybil taking the head down and just go for it approach there, as Marsh ships it out. Wigan unable to buckle this Leeds defence right now, 5th and last. Three in a row. Thompson, Wigan have got the numbers if they can move the ball. They opt to keep hold of it though. That's Emily Bagley taking that one into the line. Wigan about 5 metres out. They've got the numbers again here. Nuttall, what a tackle!
Brilliant tackle by Sophie Nuttall there. She, as a player, I don't think she thinks much, she just does, and she consistently puts the body in front, and lots of try-saving tackles from her this season. I think, considering the amount of tackles and sets we've had back-to-back there, the girls have scrambled quite well. I mean, I can hear Caitlin Beavers from here telling the girls where to go on that retreat, so I think we'll be pleased in the way that we've defended, but, you know, concerned about the amount of penalties that we've had back-to-back.
Yeah, and if you're looking for versatility, look no further than someone like Sophie Nuttall. She's played everywhere in the back so far.
Yeah, she just puts her hand up and she'll do a job wherever. Oh,
and there's Etok, she's got the outside. Etok coming back up the inside. It looked like Greenfield had a good cover on her. But she looks like she's going to get a fast play the ball, leave two on the deck here.
Nice, Tasha.
Tash Gaines seeing that, taking full advantage of it. That's a good start to an exit set there.
Yeah, really, really good. I think she's doing well, Tasha, at reading the situation. I'd probably just say for her to be more direct on that jump out on that first one. Just split the markers. Yeah.
Here's Ellie Oldroyd, her first attacking involvement of this game.
Just get out, quick play the ball.
Ooh,
oh, good hands.
Hamstring tester there. Can hear the halfbacks calling for it, and she'll drill it along this greasy surface.
I think that's a great option with how much the ball's been hanging in the air, so she'll just be looking to get a bit of distance on her kicks from there.
Now it's Wigan's turn to try and get out of their own danger zone. Marsh moves it on for Wilson. Wilson taking it up the middle again. Butcher coming in, dominating that tackle, slowing the play down. Such an important role for getting your defensive line set. Again, she's involved. And a little bit of pushback as well there. Wigan struggling to break down this Leeds defence right now. Really strong showing. 5th and last. Thompson will drill that one, and Laverick takes it. She'll put a bit of a step on. She beats one. Laverick fighting for her feet here. Beavers. She's got a wicked step on her. And looks like Thompson's caught a bit of friendly fire there.
I thought it looked like a knee, but it must be a head.
Yeah, she looks to have gone down holding her head. Just wonder if maybe she's hit one of her teammates on the way in there. Yeah, it's a head clash. Oh, she felt that one pretty quickly. Looks like she's caught heads with Dwyer there in the red and white head guard, and yeah, Dwyer looks like she's feeling it a little as well. She's got a slight break in play. Obviously, player welfare comes first, and Thompson's going to need an assessment. A quick turnaround for Marsh there. She's
I
only
know.
been
I
off
think
the
that
pitch.
they brought Dwyer on to go in at 9 for carries. So I think it'll be interesting to see how they shape up now.
Oh. And Elfrain just had a little look up at the line there. Unfortunate. So Wigan will have the head and feed, and it's a new half-back pairing out there, so we'll have to see how that goes.
I think that the half-back pairing is I wouldn't say makeshift, but I know Charlotte Foley I think usually plays at 9 or likes to play at 9. Sarah Harrison and Gemma Walsh not playing, who is the usual half-back combination, so I think they'll be impressed so far with how they've gone.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's been a real defensive battle so far as this game, and there's one player that's certainly stamped her mark on it so far, Amy Johnson.
Yeah, she's got around. She's definitely got around and put some lot of hard work in.
Johnson are there again for 3 successive tackles, and Hill caught on the wrong side of the play of the ball there. Booth making sure that she works across, and Frayne, good tackle. Prim coming in, helping out. Nice Sibbald. Oh, Ellie Oldroyd again. Kicking behind, and it's going to evade Madison Laverick, but she's going to try and fight her way back into the field of play. It's not going to happen though. And yep, Wigan forcing the first repeat set of the game. Can't imagine this one going too far with how kicks have gone so far.
No, not given the wind. I mean, look at that. It was quite low, and you can just see it just getting pushed back in the air.
Dwyer met by Frayne, dropping low there. Marsh giving it on for Lucy Bagley. Going left with Molyneux. Oh.
She jumped into the tackle there, though. I don't think there's nothing wrong with the defence, but she'll certainly keep her feet on the ground next time.
Yeah, as soon as you leave the floor, any strength you did have is gone.
Just puts you in a difficult position.
Marsh looking left. They've got Greenfield scheming. Dwyer ships it to Greenfield.
Great tackle by Hannah Butcher to put the pressure on.
The referee pulls them for a forward pass, but Butcher coming up, pressing in, making sure that the pass had to be forced.
The ball went from Emma Dwyer, and just the pressure from Hannah Butcher there from the inside.
That's the thing, when you see someone like Greenfield sweeping around the back, you know that there's a play on somewhere.
We're good at that. I think as team leads, we're very, very lucky that in our halfbacks, Courtney and Hannah, they both love to defend, so they'll get themselves in there and work hard. Oh,
it's
go on.
Sharp busting tackles and bringing players with her.
Such a big, robust player. She's strong.
And the referee's going to pull Wigan here for interference. Sharp trying to get a quick play of the ball and wasn't allowed to. Player didn't roll away. So Hill will look to the touchline, and it's not going to go. Is it? Oh, unkind bounce.
With that.
Yeah, if there's one thing that Courtney prides herself on as well, is she'll chase every single player in this set. Hill looking for the strip there, but saw Kerrigan coming in. And there's Molyneux again, as a Wigan player that's really been getting through the work in these early sets. So 32 minutes gone, I don't think she's had a break yet. Wigan setting up in centre field, 35 metres out from the Leeds line. Have they got something on? Foley gives it on for Sibbald.
Great offload.
That ball slipped away for Dwyer. Dwyer for Thompson, back out on the field. They've got the numbers. They ought to come back on the inside though with Wilson. Laverick wise to it. Dwyer. Oh, they've coughed it cold. And
I don't know what the outcome Danica may be hoping for there, but we'll take the knock on and go for a play ball restart.
Yeah, Danica getting a chip and chase on there.
Yeah, she's quicker than what she looks, but I don't think she was quick enough to get there. But just them reactions.
That's the thing, can't fault it. Everybody else stopped.
I know, she were after it. She'll be fuming that the referee blew the whistle as well. First carry there as well.
Yep. There is Prim getting involved, so difficult to tackle. Very good at spreading her legs, making it difficult.
Her and Amy Johnson have been good at that this game and throughout the season. They attract 2 or 3 defenders every time and get that quick play of the ball for us.
Here's Oldroyd with a strong carry from her. But she's driven back by this Wigan defence. Then forced onto her back as well. Credit to Wigan, good defence. But then they've ripped the ball out.
They've been disappointed in that because I don't know who it was who was in the tackle. I think it was it number 20? I got my contact lenses in.
Emily Bagley.
Emily Bagley. It were a great wrestle to finish Ellie Allroyd on her back, but let themselves down there. Like that from Ellie Allroyd as well, straight back in front of the carry.
Yeah, she's
young, hungry player.
Yeah, she's as tough as she is stubborn. There's Johnson. Again, another player that's not had a rest yet. She's really putting the minutes in and she's not hiding out there. Good run from Gaines, spotting a hole there. And the Beavers are slotting. Give on for Booth. Booth will go wide. She's fast. Looks like the referee will pull that one for a loose carry, and to be fair, I think
it's a shame that. I think what she'll try to do were right. Shah runs with the ball out in front of her in 2 hands really well, just making the defence think, is she going to go, is she going to pass? But in these conditions, she maybe wants to tuck a little bit sooner. It's just a bit too soapy for her to keep tight in contact.
Yeah, she's very good on those arcing runs, attracts a lot of attention. She's fast as well.
I know I'd certainly be in 2 minds if Shah Booth were running at me with the ball in 2 hands. Probably hope she was going to pass it, to be fair. Yeah, I
wouldn't want to be standing in front of her. So we are about 5 minutes from half time with the stoppages, and Leeds putting on a bit of a push there, and Wigan taking advantage, but Butcher making sure they're not going any further. Now here's Greenfield, need to watch out for her step. Gaines and Butcher stick with her. Greenfield, Dwyer, Thompson, ships it on for Sibbald. Eatock and Frayne there to meet her. Prim lending a little bit of extra weight to the tackle as well. Now Dwyer on for Thompson. Oh, strong contact again. Amy Johnson putting her body on the line there. 5th and last, what can Wigan come up with here? And Thompson drills it in behind. Beavers does very well. It was a slippy ball to take, bobbling all over the place. And Nuttall coming in, taking a little bit of pressure off the forwards, giving them a little bit of a rest. And now Kerrigan, she'll come in. Kerrigan, she'll fight to get her feet as well. Now Eatock. Back set here.
Kira Bennett in at dummy half now.
Yep, Kira Bennett back from injury as well. She's missed a fair portion of this back.
I think she's missed certainly 3 or 4 weeks. I'm sure it might have been longer. She's been joining me in rehab club, so it's good to see her back out on the field.
Yeah, a real promising talent as well. And that kick's going to find touch. And they're going to say it's gone out on the full.
Linesman over there, they spotted it for sure.
Yeah, not the end of the set that we were looking for, but it being the 5th, it'll be a turnover from where the ball was kicked. Now Wigan getting the backs involved, and now Dwyer moving the ball on. And Wigan have lost it here. It's number 24, Dainty, coming up with the mistake. Errors are bound to happen in conditions like this, and I've got to say, it's not been many errors for the conditions that we're playing in.
No, not too many. I think there's a few that we'd like to. I think there's a few that we'd like to, get out of the game, but they're going to come with the conditions, like you say. So both teams will be pretty happy. Just maybe a few penalties that they'd like to cut out.
Yep. It's only 6-0 at the minute. That lone Courtney Hill try inside 6 minutes, and Courtney there trying a little something different, trying to kick over the top, and got to say, when they come off, they look good.
Yeah, when they come off, they look good. I think it's not a risky one, but it's going to have to be spot on and on the money in this sort of weather and these sort of conditions to come off. I think you look at Courtney's try and the field position that we had. Neither team have really been in great field position for too long, other than that stint Wigan had with three penalties on the bounce.
Yeah, and that's the thing. In conditions like these, defence is going to be the big winner. And Elliot Oldroyd.
Few claims from the Wigan players, but she just goes in and goes in hard.
I think she forgets sometimes that these players have families.
I think she forgets how tall she is.
So there we go, that brings to an end the first 40 minutes. As mentioned, that Courtney Hill try inside the first 6 minutes, the only try of the half. Wigan enjoying some good field position but unable to crack the Leeds line. So join us again in 5 to 10 minutes for the second half and the final 40 of the Women's Super League.
Shannon, so we're getting to know some of the players down at the rugby ground here at Kirkstall, and you're next up, so I want you to kick off and go tell me a few nicknames.
I think I have the most nicknames in the team, thinking about it. I have got Shazza, off Cuffbar, Shazam.
Who give you that one? I don't think it was me.
I think it was Ian. It was Ian from work. Shannon the Cannon, that one has come into light. If you look on the BBC Red Button, someone decided to tell them on the final that was my nickname.
Don't know that one.
Lois Forcell. And Sharon, Cuffbar thinks it's funny to call me Sharon.
Mum's fuming about that, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. She is. That's Amy Johnson, that's brought that one to light. Some kids call it wrong name as well, they always call me Sharon.
It could be worse, could be called Lois, I get called Louise, Lois. Various.
Some people are lucky.
Do you want to give Amy Johnson a nickname?
Everyone calls her Jano.
That's not, yeah, but that's just a nickname.
I'm a nice person.
Savage.
Shazam.
Yeah, I like that one.
What else have we got?
Shut up, we'll probably call you something else.
Greg's.
Yeah.
We've called me Greg's.
How's that, Shannon?
Don't eat Greg's anymore.
Not anymore. I think you used to be a lifelong member there.
I had a membership card. I didn't really, just to clarify.
Go on then. So, what position are you at the minute? And then there's a running joke in there about what position you maybe should be or would be or would like to be.
So, my current position's loose forward mainly, or prop, potentially second row if Cuffball's feeling nice. But yeah, everyone likes to think I'm a winger.
And you?
I do.
I've seen you hanging out there.
It's only when I get lazy.
What players does likes of Leon and some of the girls wind you up and call you?
Vinacola.
Yeah, you probably won't remember them, will you?
Leon calls me Tamalolo, actually.
Oh, okay. I prefer Vinacola from the good old days at Bradford. Senior. I think you played, didn't you? One game you have played there.
Played it, yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a photo somewhere, like, I'm running down
I'm pretty sure Danica
Danica's like
resting that day. She caught you on Snapchat or Instagram. I remember seeing it.
Yeah, that was
She
funny.
baited you out.
And there's like a photo of the game and Leon and Cuthbert's face is just like, and I'm running down me, so it's pretty funny.
Alright. So what's your job? So tell me, well, I know what your job is, but tell everyone else what your job is.
So I work with you, obviously.
Obviously.
At the foundation as a development officer.
Right, apprentice.
It's
You said come through your
soon.
time. It's September. You've not got long. You've got a few more weeks of being mugged off. But
Coming.
what's been the best thing, the worst thing about your apprenticeship?
Best thing, probably just doing the coaching.
It's taken you a long time
It's been
to
a
think
long
about
year.
the best thing.
It's been a long year.
So the best thing's been coaching the girls. Yeah.
The worst thing working with you. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. The worst thing would have to be the amount of cups of tea I've had to make, even though I do not drink hot drinks.
No, you don't. And that was your answer the first week in the office, and I think I looked at you and was like,
Yeah, Ian was like, you need to go make a brew, and I'm like, I don't drink them. He's like, I'll show you how to make the first one, and then you're on your own.
yeah.
So-
That is part of the Leeds Rhinos Foundation apprenticeship. You've got to pass that. And I think you passed with flying colours, and Ian is a very thirsty person, so
I know.
he likes tea after tea. But Sam had some good nicknames for you, didn't he? Every time he wanted.
Yeah,
a cuppa.
I think Polly put the kettle on,
Yeah.
Tigo, Pearl, they're his favourite ones. He loves to wind me up, does Sam?
He loves to wind us all up, I think, to be honest. And then what does Ian do when he wants a drink?
Just Ian and Leon just shut the cup for me on the table, and that's it, I'm up.
You just look at him and you're just like,
Oh.
good punish it. So you've been working at the foundation for probably about a year now. I started last September. Apprenticeship's nearly completed, so...
Thanks, Danica.
Yeah, she's in. Tell me some habits that you picked up that are good and some habits that you've picked up that are bad.
Obviously spending a lot of time with you does have its good and bad points.
I think it's just good, so
My eating habits have got better. I've lost a little bit of weight. We'll put that down to you. All the extra training you make me do. And then bad habits would have to be the things that you say I copy. So all you say all the time is funny, hilarious, even though you're not laughing at the whole thing.
Why do you do that?
Because I've ended up copying you because I have to spend so much time with you.
Funny.
There we go.
If you had to describe yourself in 3 words, what would it be? And what have you got better at this year?
So my first one would have to be Greg's.
That's first word, right? Okay, Greg's.
Just because of how much
Love the
Greg's I
steak
did
bake.
used to it. I do love a steak bake, but I'm not allowed them no more.
Damn.
Tired. I'm always
tired. What's up, Shannon? I'm tired.
Tired and moody. So everyone likes to say that I never smile, and I think I remember when we did like the last 6-week block with you and Ian, and they were like, one thing that I had to improve on was like smile more.
So go on, finish off at the camera. Give us a big cheesy smile. There you go.
I'm surprised it didn't tumble over. No, if you really think about it, when you start, only else time to look clever. Apart from... I wonder if she did give herself a swirl. You what? Do you think she did give herself a swirl as well? Right there, oh, we're ringing her like... Oh, we're ringing her like, Mia, where are you? Mia, where are you? Mia, where are you? I actually did. I get a text. Mia, where are you? Down toilet. Where? In Canavan. Can't put with you. Oh, that is... No, both of us have the motivation and the energy to try and do it.
That motivation to
There's 1-2 for the handful. She's a bit more energy getting that seagull absolutely whacked. Getting stung. It was horrible with a lot of chemical there on it.
Hello and welcome back to Wheatwood Sports Village. Just about to get the second half underway. The Wigan side out bright and early. Leeds taking the time in the warm locker room, just getting in those last few words ahead of a big 40 minutes. As we mentioned at the start of the game, the season positions and the standings already decided, but pride on the line and confidence building as well coming into these into the final series. It's going to be important for both sides to get a win. So of course that sets us up for next week. You've got Leeds making the trip across to St Helens, while league leaders Castleford will take on 4th place Wigan, and then that will decide the position of the grand finalists. So we are about to get back underway. Wigan kicking off the second half, now into that headwind as well that's not eased up through the course of this game. So we'll have to see how their approach to this second half, and in particular their exit strategy, works out. So here we go. Thompson getting us back underway. Hill there pops it up for Prim. Prim taking that up into contact, drawing the attention of 3 Wigan players. Prim for Bennett. Bennett, Oldroyd carrying that ball out in front of her, picking out Dwyer in the line. Bennett looking left and right, looking for her options. There is Bennett on for Frayne. Frayne with a bit of footwork at the line, and a knock-on's been called. Looks like Bennett at the back of the play of the ball, so not the ideal end to a first set here for the Rhinos. So Leeds knocking on. Bennett dropping the ball at the back of the play of the ball there. So Leeds now under pressure, and Wigan will look to exploit that as Bennett strips the ball one-on-one. Referee says play on. That's a very good way to atone for your mistake. A Booth now getting wide, and the tackle's not complete. It is now. Now Frayne up into contact again. A little bit of late footwork at the line, making a tricky tackle. And she's being held down there, but the referee says no. And Prim picking out players. Takes 3 to bring her down. Get the play of the ball on for Bennett. Bennett for Hill. Hill showing it. Again on for Booth. Booth running the angles. And Booth play it for Bennett. Bennett, Butcher showing it, giving it wide for Etok again with the step. Etok, great offload. Butcher, wide for Laverick. A wall of Wigan players there to meet her and force her over the touchline. Good defence from Wigan.
good defence from Wigan, and not a bad place to finish that set. We just spoke about our time that you've got to be patient in these sort of conditions and just keep turning up and being direct, finishing up here. And the longer we can be up here, it gives Courtney and Hannah a better chance of being a bit more expansive with the ball in these conditions without the worry of what might happen if the set don't go to plan.
Yeah, and we're talking about Wigan's exit strategy as well, because now of course they're playing into that headwind that wreaked havoc with the kicking.
Yeah, I mean Courtney's just held her hand up in the changing room. She's probably a worst critic. There were a couple, but mostly it weren't too bad. But it'll make her life a lot easier this half, kicking out not against the wind, and Wigan's a lot harder.
Yeah. And now here come Wigan. Derbyshire going sideways there, looking for the ball. Oh, and referee calling it backwards. Johnson there, making sure that there was no Wigan players around. And that's a strong run there. Looked like Goodburn. Dwyer for Greenfield. Bennett not quite sticking on that tackle. Hill working the floor well, slowing things down. Dwyer for Foley. And she's gone without the ball there. Sybil, that's her first error of the game. Oh, sorry, no, it's not. It's Gregory Hazelden. You can see tiredness, and the conditions will probably start to take effect into the latter stages of this game. Can hear Adam Cuthbertson in the background barking the orders. And Bennett for Beavers coming back up the middle of the scrum.
Yeah, a bit of confusion there, I think. Just need to be a bit more organised at the scrum.
And Beavers wrestling to get away. Allroyd looking for the offload there. Wasn't available, made the right decision, just keeping hold of it. And Bennett for Prim. Winding up into that tackle. Prim. Dwyer making sure that she's not going to get that fast play of the ball. And Hill shows it again. She'll skip and try and go herself. There's Martinez there making that tackle. Bennett goes short side, Booth trying to power her way over people. Bennett goes right for Hill. Hill will dribble it through. It's going to hang up. Oh! Wigan playing at it.
Much better outcome. Should be happy with that. Well, Courtney getting a team a repeat set, so that's what we talk about. Get that field position, and if you continuously go at them with being a bit more direct, their defence will tire and the gaps will open.
Yeah, and kicks like that put fullbacks in absolute purgatory, because you play at it, repeat set, you don't play at it, potential try.
Yeah, they've just got to make a decision, and Wigan made the right one, but I'm sure that they won't want to be defending down there for too long. So
no, with every kick as well, Courtney's just going to find a range, and it's going to make it harder and harder for them. And Butcher opts to take on the line herself.
She's a half-back that don't mind running.
Now, usually you'll find in half-back pairings that one player will be the playmaker and the other one's a runner, whereas here
I think we've
two runners.
Yeah, I mean, Courtney's quite an organised half-back and likes to be really organised and put them players on. But Hannah same, but Hannah will go. But Courtney's started now. I think she's been doing a bit of work on her sprinting, and she's rapid now. So if she spots a gap, she'll go too.
And we'll get a repeat set 10 metres out even, sorry. As Wigan made a play at that one, didn't quite come off. And just trying to get the organisation set.
I think it's Ellie Frayne who looks like she's in a bit of pain, struggling, wanting to get off or get a bit of treatment.
Yeah, she seems to be gesturing towards that ankle or knee.
I think it looks like she might have a dead leg, but she's not usually one to go down, so she must be it.
Yeah, she's been one of the players that's featured heavily, and the play's going to go on with Elle down in the background, and Courtney opting to kick early. Now there's going to be a job on getting her off the field in time.
They'll just have to dodge her and swerve her.
And Amy Staveley back into action. Quick turnaround for her as well. And Kerrigan, Nuttall and Hill all combining there to push Wigan towards touch. And Booth looks a little worse for wear after that tackle. And a few metres forward there, but referee says fine. And Thompson putting that kick up. Nuttall doing very well.
Done well, but looking with that bounce, it's a spiral kick that went up. She'll let it bounce.
Yeah, it's a risky take. Beavers now trying to make meters. Bennett now commanding the forwards around the middle, calling players on. Staveley up to the challenge. She'll go hard up the middle. Met well though. Here is Bennett on for Prim. Prim stepping, fending. Bennett right for Butcher. Butcher, she's got Etok outside her. If she can get that arm free, there could be something on, but Wigan do well. Good scramble defence from them on the edges. Got another player down in back play. Wigan player this time. And that ball's bouncing, it skipped away, and that was close.
Need it out.
By any means. See Shannon Lacey out there, knee strap. She's seems to be more tolerating it than anything.
Yeah, I think Sharp Booth's come off with a bit of a head injury, so I think she might have wanted a bit of more time on the bench. Looks to be struggling, but job to be done.
Yeah, she's made a tough stuff.
Yeah, there's a few forwards who've been out there for a long time. I don't think Amy Johnson's had a break yet. Looking at the Wigan side, Amanda Sibbald's not had a break yet. She's a bit quiet the second half, but she was great in the first half, taking her team forward. That's sister of James Donaldson at Leeds Rhinos, so rugby runs in the family.
Yep, and it's a real war of attrition going on out there as Molyneux forced from the field. She won't be too happy with that. She's put in a good shift, and that means Goodburn's forced to go back out there on another forward on a quick turnaround. But, and Beavers saw a bit of a half step through the line there. It looked like she could have gone clear. Now Bennett for Butcher. Butcher, good turn up ball there for Staveley. Wigan doing a good job of working the floor. Now here's Prim. Prim out the back for Hill. Hill realises that the crossing was on there, but the referee says too far gone. Not
much she could do. She stopped her, but then he's deemed it as being obviously interfering, so penalty.
Yeah, that's the thing. Defenders got caught. Players got caught in the defensive line.
I don't think she's quite realised yet. She's going for Marquis Courtney. Come on, lass. Either that or having a chin wag.
Back underway. Heard the contact there.
Like that, Ellie Allroyd in for first contact. She obviously knew that she'd got in the way on that attacking play. Great attitude.
Prim and Allroyd forcing Wigan back inside their own 10 here. As Johnson. Dwyer moving the ball on. Lucy Bagley bringing it forward for Wigan. Dwyer goes for Foley. Johnson came out looking for the read. Good tackle. And Bennett getting caught on the wrong side of Amy Johnson there. And there's Martinez, strong runner, but Lacey comes in and finishes the job off. Fifth and last. Foley. Lacey closing her down there.
I think that
Now
were great.
Kerrigan. And that's disappointing. And
Should be frustrated with Chloe there. She's not one usually to make mistakes, so the girls will get round her and give her a pat on the back. But I think defensively that were a great set. It seemed to have a bit of a bite in it, a bit of punch in it. So be frustrated if they turn the ball over, but we'll all do it for Chloe. She's, like I said, she's not one to usually make a mistake, so I'm sure she'll be the one who's most hard on herself.
yeah, keep an eye on Chloe Kerrigan this set, because she will be sailing out of the line.
Hopefully not too much.
We've previously referred to her as the human projectile due to her tackling technique.
It's not orthodox, but it does the job.
Butcher there, working Bagley on the floor. Thompson, good contact there on Dainty. Ellie Allroyd helping out. And Wigan sending the forwards up the middle, and the Leeds forwards up to the task of meeting them. Prim and Lacey again. And Marsh moves it wide. Now Thompson, oh, she's coughed it clean. Looks at her hands. Unfortunate there, Wigan giving Leeds a bit of a let off. It looked like they had the shape. Leeds will now look to bring it out from deep in their own 30. And Lacey going over the top of Greenfield there. Lacey not coping too well on that knee at the minute. Prim carting that one forward, going over the top. Bennett for Oldroyd. Still going, still pumping the legs. Wigan doing well to put her on her back though. Wigan player claiming she was locked in. Now here's Johnson. Johnson taking it forward. Strong leg try. She's been out there 55 minutes and she still looks fresh as a daisy. That's played at. The referee sees it that way too. Oh! Don't think the call had been heard, but unfortunate.
Yeah, I think that's just little things where it's that game fitness, that game awareness. It's first coming back from injury for Kira, so it's just one of those things. But I think it were 50-50 whether she knew it were back to zero or not. So I'll let her off. But if she does what she did last time and made up with it with the ball still, we'll be happy.
Yeah, if the pattern's starting to develop, we'll be fine with those handling errors.
Look, she's raring to go straight out. She's a great young player who.
Yep, eyes up and she'll go looking. And
great work ethic.
Butcher, Bennett and Staveley all involved in that tackle, and now Butcher sprinting back into the line.
Good run by Amanda Sibbald. Stopped in her tracks though.
Now Wigan carting it forward. Greenfield coming onto it, trying to help out the forwards, look for a little bit of a late step. And now Thompson carrying it forward, looking dangerous. Bennett wise to it though. Thompson with a bit of a slip. And Marsh goes out the back, finds Foley. Foley kicks to that open side.
Bit of a reverse kick. That winger looked like must have been offside.
And there's Etok. If Etok can get herself free.
Oh no. Frustrating.
It's unlucky because it was on. It was on, and you've got to take those chances, especially in games like this where nothing's a given.
You do, and I think Cuthbert will be looking and asking, but we're letting field position slip away from us at this point. If you look at where the scrum is now, I think that they'll want to get back to playing down in Wigan's end and making sure that we can capitalise on the sets that we have up there. It's a drain mentally and physically getting from one end to the other in these conditions when you know that it's just going to be, carries with support runners, but nothing too expansive to get you down quicker.
Yeah.
Just got to stick to the process and be patient. Especially with the scoreline still being 6-0.
Yeah, and you've got to say that, fingertip there's the difference in that one. The Wigan player holding on for dear life on Etok and forcing the offload.
It's a game of fine margins at the moment, isn't it?
Absolutely. Oldroyd absolutely buckling the Wigan player there.
Again, 2 on the bounce.
She's so strong.
She is. It's been good watching some of the young girls mature a little bit this season. The first season last year. This season they've kind of grown into their own, and Ellie Allride's one of them.
Yeah, and Chloe Kerrigan, she was one of the call-ups from last season, and she's come on in this year as well. I think a lot of the younger players have really started to find their feet, and a lot of them have been very versatile. We mentioned Nuttall earlier, played everywhere in the backs, and Kerrigan's another one as well, coming up into the forwards too. So. There's Laverick. She missed large parts of this season as well due to injury, so it's good to see her back into the team.
Yeah, she slotted in really well. Unlucky the way that she got injured. Oh, again, Abby's got that pass away to Hannah Butcher.
Butcher's
on,
free! Butcher's free!
Oh!
Collected
contact.
there. Hannah
Becky
Butcher.
Greenfield doing a job there at full-back.
Yeah, really put a body in front of her. It was an all or nothing.
Literally. I think it were a head as well. A body and head straight in front of her. That's what you want from your players, though.
And Hill spots that there's no winger back, and Nuttall's chasing. She's chasing hard. And opt to pump it dead.
I think I'd have fancied picking it up myself.
Hindsight's 20/20, unfortunately, and if she had a time again, she would.
Yeah, but I could have probably tried picking it up and knocked it on, so I might have had pie on my face underneath the sticks, saying apologising to my teammates, but
yeah, that's the thing.
Maybe hindsight's good. Maybe she made a good decision given the conditions. It's all right for me to say sat up here under the stand, I guess. I must like to take risks.
Yeah, in such fine margins as well. You really don't want to be the player responsible.
Good
great
take, Courtney.
Here is Bennett, Johnson, Wigan line moving up fast there. Last time Leeds were in this kind of field position, it was Courtney Hill slotting through. And Prim, Butcher, the numbers are there. Butcher gives it. Etok!
You've got to slide in this weather. Brilliant try by Abby. I'd have been sliding in corner.
So you're taking your young contingent of girls through sliding earlier before the game started?
Oh, did you see us?
Yeah.
We've got to do it, haven't you? It's rainy, it's wet. I'd made them all line up under post and score a try on pitch. There were some questionable dives. For some reason women like to dive and knees first, but Tony got a slide over the line.
They'd clearly be watching Danica's try at Wakefield.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't see it from where I was at, but I've watched the videos back. So Cuthbert said we have games at training and he puts different point systems. So if you dive, you get extra points, because at the start of the season we kept missing out on opportunities just because people wouldn't slide over the line.
But there's Avi Etok. That's her 4th try of the season, I believe now.
In 2 appearances, is it?
She debuted at Bradford.
3, Bradford, Wakefield. So 4 tries and 3 appearances, not bad.
Yeah, she got a hat trick at Wakefield in the previous outing. So yeah,
she were close in the game against Bradford as well. She caught the ball and went through. I think she tripped over her own feet. She was mortified.
Yeah, caught out by her own bootlaces, and then unfortunately missed the second half of the Wakefield game through injury. So she could have definitely had a few more on the total. So yeah, roughly two games worth of minutes, and 4 tries. That's not a bad total.
Not bad at all.
Hill from the touchline just creeps under the bar.
On target, just wind might have been a bit too much.
Yeah, she takes them from such narrow angles as well. She's really incredibly accurate. A lot of players favour going for the distance, but Courtney favours the angles. There's a Cuthbo out there in full wet weather gear.
He'll be loving this weather, won't he?
So Courtney missing that kick and leaving it at 10 points to 0. And here's Prim taking the first of the set in there. Bennett, Aldroyd, strong contact. Eventually get her onto her back, and they're claiming she's lost the ball, but Ellie looking a little worse for wear after that tackle. I think she's twisted awkwardly.
She looks in pain. She's pointing to her back, I think.
Yeah, I think she's been twisted in that tackle. As you can see, her legs are facing outwards and her lower back looks like she's been a little bit crushed in there. And Ellie's
another tough one who won't go down.
Absolutely, and it's never good to see a player pulled up like this. And you know, there's a lot of players out there in the wars at the minute, just watching that back on the replay.
Looks like Ellie Allroyd's going to come off and Shabu's going to join us again on the field.
Yeah, it looks like she's been twisted rather awkwardly, and with it being a back injury as well, you take no chances. So it'll be time off at the minute, just while they attend to this injury. I, for one, do not envy any of these women. This is not t-shirt and shorts weather.
It's the fine rain that soaks you through to the core.
Yeah, and as we mentioned earlier, you've been here a fair while, taking some of the younger girls through.
Yeah,
training.
I was coaching at 12:30 on the pitch before. We've had Bolsover Bulls girls team come over to watch the women's game. They wanted to catch a game of Super League, so said that we'd do a training session before, and they were great. To be fair, it's great to welcome them here.
Yeah, that's going to be potentially the end of Ellie Allroy's afternoon. We hope it's nothing serious.
It's good to see her on her feet at least.
Yeah, it's always a good sign when a player can leave a field of their own volition and rather than with equipment.
I left the field on my own feet. We're a year later.
Yeah.
Looks like it might be something muscular, a bit of a twinge or a back spasm maybe, I don't know.
It certainly won't help with 4 people laying on you.
No.
So Booth will take over where Allroyd left off, and now Staveley pumping the legs, earning those extra few metres for a team. Bennett, Hill goes deep.
Nice.
Seems to
Brilliant
be
kick.
a game plan of turning the full back, and Greenfield's now going to have to try and bring this out. Nuttall dropping low there. Greenfield does well to escape her in-goal area, but now Wigan have got a job on their hands as Kerrigan comes up into contact. This Leeds defence rushing in. And they force the error, Wigan knocking on.
It's the sort of position that we want now. I'm sure the message will be going on that we've done great to get down there on the back of Courtney's pinpoint kick, so let's keep them there and make it count.
Yeah, it's got to be said, this has been done by rugby IQ alone. Courtney kicking early, making sure that the defence is turned and having the skill to hold that ball up on a wet surface as well.
I think you can just see how much better the ball's travelling now. We're playing in the opposite way, aren't we?
Yeah, if you'd have tried to put that kick up in the first half, it'd have been back in your hands. It's Kerrigan. Met strong. Bennett scheming, she'll find Prim. Prim will go hard and straight. She's had the ball pulled out there by the looks of things. The referee sees it the other way though. Certainly seems to be the presence of hands around the ball, but his call is final and Leeds will just have to regroup. Coming up a little bit early there, the referee forcing the repack. And Johnson again there, first on the scene, 67 minutes in, and she's not tiring. Look at the intensity of this Leeds defence here. Here's Marinas. And Dwyer Kerrigan sailing in. And that's a good tackle, making sure there's no more meters to be made, shutting Thompson down. And now Foley turning it up for Goodburn, sorry. Foley will look up and you can see the difference in kicks, the ball just hanging there. And now Beavers will look to find the outside. If she can get there, there'll be trouble. And Beavers corralled into touch.
I think if Caitlin had managed to stay in, there'd have been a bit of a problem for Wigan, because Abby Talk was lining herself up for the next one.
Yeah, Wigan really putting themselves about the pitch there and making sure that Beavers wasn't able to get one of those trademark arching runs around the side. So Wigan packing the scrum just outside the Leeds 40. Foley going short side to Greenfield. Greenfield pulled down. Now Wigan opting to cart the ball up the middle, looking for opportunities. Prim up into contact well. Now Marsh going left to Foley. Foley to Thompson. Ships it for Greenfield. Her second carry of the set. She gets an offload away, but Booth making sure that that was as far as it went. Good tackle round the ankles there of Sibbald. Now Foley taking it at the line. Thompson surging for the line. And she's short. And the referee's called the knock on.
Sharby was busy in that set with some big hits there.
Yeah, good scrambling defence as well. We're going to got the good play of the ball, quick, fast play, and yeah, alert to it. Leeds making sure it wasn't happening, and looks like there's going to be a technical change in the half-back pairing there. Hannah Butcher coming off, Tash Gaines coming on. Prim arcing around, looking for a gap, just fending away. Bennett for Johnson. Johnson putting in a real tough shift today. Bennett for Prim, second drive of the set. Coming in. Bennett having a look at the line, seeing if there's an option to go herself. And they're holding down there. And Hill should look for touch. That wind picking up just at the wrong time. And crowd nearly coming home with a souvenir. That wind has really picked up now. Yeah, looks like Courtney's recognised that and she's shortening up the passing.
Yeah, Danica in for a third run in. in not a lot of time. She's working hard.
Yeah, really putting the work in. And Bennett Johnson again. Bennett picks up Hill. Hill shows it. Gives it to Kerrigan.
Nice read, just a bit too far with it given the conditions. Claire Kerrigan struggled to take the ball in.
Yeah, you think on a sunny day that might have come off, but today, 72 minutes into wet and windy conditions.
Wet, windy, and now freezing.
Yeah. So not the most pleasant of days, and how anyone can market this as summer rugby.
We're still in September, just.
And we're going to bring it off the base of the scrum. Watson taking that one forward and holding herself up until Prim coming in to finish off the job, and Thompson. Got a feel now a try for Wigan would probably reinvigorate them. And now Greenfield, and they're loose down the side. Quickly wrapped up though, and Booth doing a good job. And there's Goodburn, Booth again, down round the legs, and Thompson trying to break the line. Gap quickly closing though. And there's Dainty. Prim and Bennett pulling her down. And there's been a bit of a miscommunication in there, and that's going to be a knock on. We're getting the makers of their own downfall in that one. Bit of miscommunication, and what should have been a blocker not expecting the ball. That was the fifth, so it'll be a straight turnover. And Gaines is to Bennett. Frayne back out there, so good to see that she's managed to shake off whatever was paining her at the start of this half. Staveley pumping the legs, even with the attention of four, they're not able to bring her to ground. A Johnson spots a gap.
Good line behind the ruck.
Yeah, that's what Amy Johnson brings to your team. She's not just a strong runner, but she's an intelligent one as well. And Etok showing off a bit of a juggling skills there. Bennett, Staveley, back up the middle for her second of the set. There's been a lot of drives and a lot of minutes done by this forward pack. And Hill look to find turf again, and this kick's going to hold up. And there's been a bit of a juggling there, and it's been knocked on behind her own line.
I thought it might have. I didn't know if we were going to give it or not. Then she did look like she was facing backwards, but must have been a wrong view from me up here.
Yep. Even so, I think we'd have got possession back. So I think it was unintentionally grounded. So regardless, it's a goal line dropout, and Thompson into this strong headwind, and she's scuffed it, but it could come off for them. And Hill.
I was delayed then. I was watching that screen. Late to the party.
Nuttall into touch.
See, that's frustrating. First tackle, we need to be a bit smarter around that.
Yeah, it's an unorthodox kick technique there, and it almost came off for them.
Courtney were quick enough.
Don't think there's many people that are quicker than Courtney. Greenfield again prying. She's been kept quiet today, but not through lack of trying. Wigan taking it forward, not able to make much ground though. Again, that Leeds pack really closing in. It's Wilson trying to find a gap, but it's nothing doing. Frayne and Bennett, and there's been a knock on there.
And look at that. I think she's been good for most part of the game as Karis Marsh, so she'll be a bit annoyed about that one, but one of those things in this weather, a bit of a scrappy play of the ball.
Yep. Who would want to be a hooker in these conditions? Now Hill feed the scrum. Bennett. Booth with a step and going herself. Greenfield there, up to the task of stopping her, and Gaines for Etok, looking for her second of the game. Now Prim. I think if you were to try and pick a player of the game, you'd have a real tough task. It's been a really good performance. There's
been some players, well, a lot of players who have put in a good shift, so it would be tough.
Fair to say Amy Johnson certainly couldn't be overlooked.
Definitely not. Defensively, she's been absolutely outstanding today.
Now here she is, ball in hand, looking for a gap, and she almost had it. Johnson, Bennett, Stavely coming back up the same gap. But Wigan hold out, not a bad place to turn the ball over. So, just over a minute to play. And Wigan now with the treacherous task of bringing the ball off their own goal line. And Frayne and Hill there to make that tackle. Here is Marinus, and she's dropped that one.
It must be so soapy out there. There's a few players who've had that problem today.
She's a physical runner, is Martinez, but unfortunately unable to keep hold of the ball that time.
Gives us about 40 seconds to finish off our set, and I'm sure the girls want to finish off on a try. Wigan will do their best to keep them out.
Courtney Hill, she's up to something out the back of that scrum.
She's always scheming.
Hill shows it, gives it to Booth, coming back on the angle. Greenfield sticking to her though. And Bennett, there are a few markers left down there, and Stavely will spot it. And she's bumped and fended her way through. It's about 5 metres shy of the line. Bennett, Booth, she's just short of the line. Bennett goes herself. Kira nice. Bennett in for the try.
Should be happy with that. Pleased for her. We spoke quite a lot about her backing herself and being confident and going. And as a young player, she always talks about she didn't want to be too greedy. So that's just reward for her hard work, and she'll be happy to finish the game off like that.
I believe that's her first try of the season as well.
Is it?
I think so.
It must be, but yeah, she's such a coachable young kid, so she's brilliant to have on your team and to work with, and I think you'll see her scoring plenty more tries like that in the future.
Yeah, as you see there, just the confidence on show there, just to back herself out of dummy half, spotted that the marker wasn't set and that she could probably use the post pad for a little bit of assistance on that one.
Yep.
So Hill from in front of the sticks will cap this game off. But yeah, Kira Bennett, one of the numerous young players coming through the system here at the Rhinos. Goldthorpe, one of the players that broke into the squad this year as well, came through roughly the same time.
Yeah, they both moved up from the under-19s at quite a similar time. Fran's got a bit of a knock today, so she's not playing. Kira back from injury, so I think when you look across the squad and the age of it, its future's bright.
And Courtney Hill converting successfully.
Can't be long left to play now.
No, there can't be. There was a small break for injuries, so there'll probably be roughly about another minute or two left. It's now 16-0 to the Rhinos. Courtney Hill kicking 2 out of 3 so far. That wind every now and again just picking up. It's going to be so difficult to be a kicker out there and trying to time it. Thompson gains, pouches that one, and she'll go at the line. Now here's Prim. You can hear Adam Cuthbertson in the background barking orders. Could be an early kick on the cards. As Staveley takes it into the line and she's still going. And Johnson comes back to the middle, pops it up for Hill. Hill kicks it in behind. The chase is on and this kick's going to hold up again. And Hill, look how close she is. And Greenfield just hammers that one to the back of Wheatwood. Courtney Hill's kicking game is absolutely wreaking havoc in this second half. But that'll be the end. That caps off the end of the regular season. Just time to say thank you to Lois for joining us up here.
No problem.
We'll leave you to get off to the celebrations. So that is the. Yeah, so we'll just take another look at all the tries as see the Rhinos players congratulating themselves at the end of an arduous season. So it's of course coming in the first half. Courtney Hill's try, the only try of the first half. Gaines with the eyes up, finding Hill, and then a little bit of a show and go. Courtney grounding it and then converting that one, leaving it 6-0 at the half. And then this try coming in the second half. Abby Etok getting on the score sheet. Butcher finding the space on the edge. And Etok there to ground it. A little bit of a cartwheel too. And then this one coming at the close of the half. Booth setting it up with a good strong run. And then Kira Bennett eventually finding a way over. Good try from a young player. And goodbye.
Yeah, Mark, they're saying they're not going to do interviews today. So, yeah, they said we can wrap up whenever we want, yeah. Do you want the com to say goodbye? Because he's already walked off. Alright, cool. Just let me know when we're clear then, Mark, I'll stick here. Okay, cool.